Hi, I'm Lawrence. I'm a property investor and coach. In this series, I will be taking you through live proposals and analyzing them from the point of view of an investor. Through all the work that I do on my YouTube channel and my books and through my networks, I receive hundreds of emails every month of people asking me to invest in deals or to at least review the proposals they have and give them any advice or feedback. Now, I thought I'd take a couple of these proposals and do a quick video of me reviewing it live. Now, this is not a naming and shaming exercise. I don't mean to badmouth or belittle anyone. I'm purely using this as a practical application to share to others who are watching this channel and who are interested in property investing but not quite sure how to put together a professional investor proposal, on what to look out for and how to approach an investor in the right way.
Before we get into the live proposal, let me just give you some tips and techniques on how you can define the perfect investor proposal. Now, for me, there are 4 key elements that make up a really solid investor proposal. The first is you need to have a detailed number analysis. You need to include things around your cash flow or the expected profit of the deal. Do some projections of what it could look like in 1, 5, 10, 20 years time, and also do some stress testing. If the bond interest rate were to change or if the vacancy period was higher, how would that affect the numbers? Number 2, you want proof or actuals. The only way that me as an investor and most trained investors is they'll make a decision based on actuals, not on hearsay. So things like giving a rent roll as part of your investor proposal pack to an investor is critical. Providing some sort of annual financial statements of the building if you're investing in a block of flats. And then you're also looking at your utility bills or your levy receipts. Anything that can't really be created by the owner but proves that this is the actual income or expense will go a long way. Area research, providing a TPN report, a Lightstone report, and making sure that any major developments or interests in that area are explained in the proposal. And then finally, and most importantly, explaining the terms and conditions of this proposal. So, how much capital specifically do you need from me as the investor? Are you looking at sourcing this deal to me? Are you looking at asking for a loan? Or do you want me to jump on as a JV partner? And if that's the case, what is the sourcing fee? What interest rate would you give me if I give you a loan? And what would the profit share and my specific return be on the profit and the capital that I inject? How much can be financed by the bank? Are there any other partners involved? What kind of investment vehicle do you envisage this asset sitting in? So your terms and your conditions are really just explaining to me exactly what it is you're looking for and what it is I get in exchange. So let's jump through a couple of live proposals. Again, I mean no disrespect. This is purely a learning exercise. I really hope that you enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe.
Okay, so here we've got an example of a really well thought out and well structured proposal. This happens to be one of my students. And you'll just see the difference if you've watched any of the other videos in this series, other proposals from people who haven't gone through my coaching program or haven't been trained by a professional. You're going to see a massive difference. So my student's just given me a little bit of information here that the asking price is 195. They've basically come down to an agreement of about 165 to 175 as the offer price. That's what a reasonable price is. His numbers, or he's created his proposal using the 170 sort of price range. So here's his proposal. He's just using the My Property app summary page, or the proposal page. There's an introduction. There's some high level values here. I think the key thing you want to look at is obviously return on investment is 13%, which is great. So let's have a look here at some pictures. So it's the outside, the inside. Okay, cool. Security gate, good for me. It looks like it's clean, well maintained. Okay, this is perfect. You can see people are living in there. It looks in decent condition. This is perfect. Okay, rental income of 5.6. Now what he has provided me with, which is very important, is he's given me a statement. So here you can see the actual owner of this is bank statement. So you can see the rent paid plus all the extras, right? And then the levies paid. Payments of rent, levies. So I can see with proof, not just because he thinks it might work or because the estate agent said, yeah, that's the way it is. You can see rent payable is 5,460 plus those amounts. 5,460 plus those amounts. So we are confident that this is the rental amount. He's used a void of about 8%, which is fair in Berea. Bond repayment, we'll look at just now, rates and taxes, levies, those are quite high, but I can see that the building is well maintained. I can see from the images that it looks like the elevators are working, that the security is up and running. So as long as the money is being spent to upkeep the building, levies are not a bad charge. Management at about, that's probably about 8%, and then maintenance at about 8% as well. So his cash flow here is sitting at £1,000, which is absolutely perfect. He's got his bond costs and transfer costs. He's got a 20,000 Rand budget for renovations in the event that the tenant decides to leave. So that's why his maintenance budget here is quite low, because he's already budgeted 20,000 as an upfront cost. Bank financing at 70%, 10% interest over 20 years, 1,100. Perfect. So he's really worked out the bank financing perfectly here. Obviously, the app includes some scenarios so you can see where the risk is. Now, another thing that he's done, which I think is very powerful, is he sent me the sort of a TPN Lightstone report. So here we can see all the last transfers happening within this block of flats. You can see 175, 210, 170, 200, 156, etc. You can also see some of the median prices. So you can see that it's kind of fluctuated, right? In 2012, an average price for a property in this block was 208,000. It's now at 105. So you can start to get a sense of this area. I feel like a price of 170 is pretty much a fair market value. He'll be able to rent out for 5-6, make a cash flow of £1,000 every month. And then if he wants to sell, he'll probably sell for 170. Maybe he could get 180. So it's a pretty safe, it's a pretty safe deal. So this is an example of a really great proposal. Now, my student here is not trying to source this on to me. He's more just trying to get my advice and wants to move forward on the deal. But if you're looking at approaching an investor, if you're looking at trying to get an investor to pay you 30, 40, 50, 60, 100,000 Rand to source a deal to them, this is the approach that I would take. You have a nice quick email with some high level numbers. You send an investor proposal that has got all the numbers and all the detail. You have some proofs that back up what your assumptions are, your TPN and Lightstone report, plus a statement of some sort so that you can see the actuals. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you're going to get someone like myself, an investor, confident in moving forward with your deal and paying you the sourcing fee that you require. I hope you enjoyed this quick live analysis of a proposal. If you would like to share your deal with me or a deal that you'd like me to overview, please send me an email. Just go to my website, www.lawrencebull.com. Click the book me button, schedule an appointment, and I will run through any deal with you. Please don't forget to click subscribe and click the notify button so that every time that we come up with new content, you will be notified. I really hope that this has been valuable, interesting, and engaging. Until next time. Happy investing.